Welcome back to the Heads Together podcast. I'm so glad to have you here with me again this week. This is an exciting week for me. I had some awesome news today. I've just been awarded my ACC certification by the International Coaching Federation. As most of you probably know, the coaching industry isn't actually regulated. Anyone can call themselves a coach. And certainly I, worked as a coach for a few years before deciding to go for my certification. I'm not one of those people that subscribes to you have to be certified to be considered a good coach. I'm doing air quotes on a podcast, which is absolutely bloody pointless, but there you go. But I never went to university, so I suppose for me, I've never felt like I really got my head down and studied for anything. Like exams at school came quite easy to me, but then I started working in insurance when I was 18 and I never really studied for anything again. So it was a bit of a personal challenge for me really to go for this certification, and it wasn't easy. I had to do a lot of hours of training. I think I studied something like 10 Saturdays on the trot last summer. And then we had to have recorded coaching session approved, had to record a certain number of qualifying coaching hours, and then sit an exam at the end. So it was quite a protracted process. If anyone listening is interested in coaching, I will put a link to the amazing Marion Tilley who trained me and link to her business in the show notes. So you'll be able to look at that. But I did it and I feel so proud of myself. And in today's episode, I just want to talk a little bit about the ultimate mindset shift when it comes to achieving what you want in life. Okay, let's dive in. Welcome to the Heads Together podcast. I'm Jill Mokes and I am obsessed with cutting through the noise when it comes to growing your business. Each week via intimate coaching conversations and inspirational stories, I share what it really takes to get the results you want in a way that feels right to you. I am all about attracting higher ticket opportunities, building authentic relationships, and creating the abundant, full-fat version of your dream business. I mean, how many of us have beavered away creating a light version of what we really want? The thing is, I honestly believe when you're outstanding at what you do, there is no limit to what you can achieve. So, are you ready to put our heads together and make it happen? Let's go. Okay, so yes, as I was saying, got my certification. I did it. And for me, sometimes you all know I'm a flim-flammer, self-confessed. So for me, getting my head down and chipping away at everything I needed to do to achieve that it was a big deal for me. And I do feel proud of myself. And I feel that I did it for two reasons, really. One, for my own personal growth and my kind of commitment to learning and personal growth. And then the other reason is because I wanted to demonstrate how dedicated I am to being the absolute best coach I can be for my clients. Because that's what it's all about. It's not about a certificate, a digital badge on LinkedIn. It's not about that. For me, it's about being able to say to my clients, you deserve the absolute best coach. And I'm determined to be that best coach for you. And that got me thinking a bit about how everything we want in life, the only reasons that we can't achieve what we want from life are stories we tell ourselves. They're stories that we've grown up believing, limiting beliefs that have been reinforced over the years that make us believe that a certain type of success or a certain type of achievement isn't available to us. And I think a lot of people have this belief that they have to be a certain way. And whatever way that is, it's not the way they are. They have to have a certain personality type. And it's not the one they've got. And to be really successful in business, they have to fit this certain mold, which they don't consider themselves to fit. Which for me, recently I've been thinking about this so much as I've been writing. For me, it's the absolute opposite. For me, it's your own personality, your authentic, real you is literally the only USP that you have. Anything else in your business can be replicated. Everything's done before. There's nothing new under the sun. But you, the way you talk, the way you do things, the way you write, talk, whatever it is that you do, that is the only thing that makes you different. So where we're brought up to believe that there's this kind of like limited number of slots available for success, and though they always go to like the most competitive or the most deserving, confident, or the most ambitious person, that to me isn't true. We all get to choose ourselves for success, exactly the way we are. And the sooner we can really master and eliminate that limiting belief that success is what happens for other people, and I'm talking like wildest dreams success here, the sooner we stop believing that that only happens for other people and not us, the closer to it we'll start stepping. The more we're ourselves, the closer to it we'll start stepping. The less we try and become a carbon copy of someone we admire, the closer to that success we start stepping. So I think that's one of the biggest lessons that's come to me over the last few years. I'm not going to lie, I wish it had come a bit sooner. I am 54 now, but I'm glad it's come to me at all, because I'm now at a point in my business where I genuinely believe I can take this anywhere I want it to go. Now, my definition of success is going to be different to other people's. There's a question that a lot of people find really hard to answer, and that's the question, how much is enough? How much success? How much money? How much kudos is enough? And I don't find that difficult to answer. Enough for me is where I am right now. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not continuing to take my business further and to explore different things, but I'm really not craving more of anything. But the truth is, I truly believe, that anything I want to achieve now within my business is open to me. It's available to me. And that feels really good, right? That feels really good. Do you know what it puts me in mind of? The whole minimalist movement and experiences over stuff. And I think it's a bit like that. I spoke in the last episode or episode before about rewilding your business. And I think that plays into this as well. This feeling of knowing yourself that you can achieve and take your business anywhere you want it to go. But then really think carefully about what that looks like, about what success looks like for you. Because that's the ultimate fulfillment, is to achieve the success as you define it, not how someone else defines it. The truth is, you don't have to be the best at something or the smartest in the whole world to build the business of your absolute dreams, but you do have to choose yourself for success. You've got to believe you deserve it. You've got to believe that you're good enough. You have to believe in yourself. You have to trust yourself, and you have to give yourself permission to be ready, to be available for what's next. Because that one mindset shift, to go from believing deep down that success is what other people achieve and that the struggle's always going to be real for you, versus I'm available for this success now. I'm ready for it. I'm just going to step into it. I'm going to make it happen. And believing that. That's the big mindset shift. And it's huge. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, no one is going to give you permission to be successful. If you're waiting around for someone to press a button and say, okay, it's your turn, off you go, success is that way, second door on the right, that's not how it works. You've heard me say this before. You've got to stop seeking that constant external validation for your decisions. You've got to stop waiting for signs from the universe. Stop trying to compete with other people all the time, copying what they do. Stop worrying that you're not expert enough to put yourself out there. Stop waiting, basically. You've got to stop waiting. And you've got to come back to who you are. Again, the other mindset shift of this, choosing yourself as you are right now, showing up exactly as you are, saying things the way you believe them to be, telling your truth. When I started really voicing my own opinions and stopped worrying so much about how things would be received versus how I wanted to say them, because that can be paralyzing. Knowing that you have something to say, knowing you want to say something, but then being so worried about how it will be received that you end up not saying anything is frustrating as bloody hell. You need to start focusing on whatever your mission is for your business. Not your competitors, not other people, not the people who are perhaps either ahead of you and worried you're catching them up, or behind you and worried that you're moving away from them. Don't focus on any of that stuff. Focus on what you're trying to achieve and start uncovering your style, your voice, your way of doing things. Start sharing the stuff you know, your opinions. When you start making that authenticity, that level of authenticity, like this, sticking a microphone in front of me and just talking and saying what I believe in, when you can start embracing that authenticity, making it your non-negotiable, things start happening. And I tell you what else, everything gets so much simpler. Oh my goodness, I cannot even explain how easy it is to create content when all you're doing is writing down what you really think. Do you know why content sometimes is so bloody agonizing and why we all take so long to write a goddamn post on LinkedIn or whatever? It's because we're second guessing how every line, every word is going to be received. And then we're tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it. We're almost trying to listen to it back through someone else's ears to make sure that it's going to be okay. It's going to be received okay. When you stop doing that, when you start writing in your own voice and saying the things you believe in, your own opinions on things without second guessing how it will be received, the time it takes you to create content is just slashed. I promise you. Try it. Write a couple of things that you've got no intention of posting if you want, just to get in the flow of doing it. See how easy it is to write that down, things you actually believe. I'm not suggesting for any of you listeners write stuff you don't believe, but you know what I mean. Things that you, without editing, without self-editing all the time. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. You know, and in terms, again, there's nothing wrong with being inspired by other people. Nothing wrong with studying how other people do things and getting inspiration and seeing what other people can achieve. But just make sure that you're gleaning the information that serves your dreams and goals, right? Don't try and just emulate every little nuance of their business and their life. Just take from it anything you find inspirational that you can apply to your own business, your own dreams, your own goals, your own way of doing things. Okay? Don't get me wrong. I know that sometimes, however easy it is for someone like me to sit here and say, well, it's just a mindset shift. Stop believing that. Start believing that. You know, if only it were that easy, right? If only it were that easy to stop comparing ourselves to other people. If only it were that easy to find decision making a little easier, take a few more risks, be a little more daring, choose ourselves for that success. If only it were that easy. But here's the thing. It's actually as difficult or as easy as you make it. Because everything here, everything I've talked about in this episode is absolutely within your control. You choose your thoughts. Really think about that. You choose them. And you can choose to reframe things that you've believed all your life. You can still choose to reframe them. So maybe it is time to choose yourself right now. Whatever your business is, whatever you're trying to achieve in your life, what if a mindset shift happened right now? What if you hit pause or stop on this podcast at the end and made a commitment to yourself to stop allowing anything to interfere with the belief in yourself that you have? How good would that feel? So saith the ACC certified coach. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to wrap there before I start singing anymore. I hope this episode has really resonated. Hope it hasn't come across as too preachy. The difference is I have these thoughts and I just share them with you. Wonder how that's been received. I don't know, Jill. How has it? See, I have them, but I don't let it stop me. That's the difference. I don't let it stop me putting anything out there. And I just hope, the reason I put it out there is I hope one person listens and thinks, bloody hell, that's true. I can choose to think differently about this. Then that for me, that's fulfillment for me. Have a fantastic week, everyone, and I will catch up with you again next week. As always, if there is an issue in your business and you want to explore it deeper with me, you can apply for a breakthrough session with me. And just the link will be in the show notes, but it's jillmoakes.com/apply. Okay, I'll catch you next week. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode and that getting our heads together this week has filled your mind with what's possible. If you love the show, would you do me a massive favour, please? Would you leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts? It would really help me put more heads together, reach more ears and expand more minds. Until next week, bye for now.